Welcome everybody. Welcome. We continue with investment club. I say we continue because in the last video we spoke about investment clubs and why these are important. If you're going to go into a serious program of saving and investing money, I think that it's important to make a statement right here, which we made in the previous video, and this is simply that if you're not saving money and investing it, it doesn't matter how much money you're making now, you will go broke at some point. You will go broke because money has value, and that value tends to decrease over time because of inflation and the other factors. Money, today you have the energy to generate it, tomorrow you may not have that energy. So if you don't save what you're making now, if you don't invest what you're saving to make it grow, one day there simply won't be enough of it to help you go on. So saving and investing is the very best thing you can do to manage your money effectively. And my argument is that the investment clubs help you do that better. What are investment clubs? Once again, this is just a group of people who pool their resources, who pool their funds together in a savings program, in a collective savings program, which they're managing themselves in order to invest those savings. Invest those monies in several businesses and several assets. We will get into the various assets that you can invest your money in some future videos. There's a lot that we'll be talking about. But for now, I think we want to establish that it's important. It's very critical to get together with other people, perhaps of similar attitude, people who think the same way. Most of us, if we are honest, we've tried to save money and invest it in the past. That has not worked very well because there are a lot of situations that come up. You start saving, you start investing, somebody dies, you go and get that money, you assure yourself you're going to start again. It doesn't actually happen. But when you're doing it in a group, you are forced to actually become consistent. So investment clubs are very, very important. But the issue is, how do you start them? How do you run them effectively? Before we answer that question, let me give you this experience that I have. I'm actually working with a group of 50 Rwandese. So what these Rwandese do is that they meet every Sunday without fail. 50 of them, each one is required to bring along to the meeting 500 kwacha. So 50 of them, they are able to raise 25,000, which money is given to one person every Sunday to go and start a business or to invest in an existing one. Already, I think we can see the power of pooling resources together. Because what happens in this case is that by the time the year is done, every member has had a chance, an opportunity to receive 25,000 interest-free loan. Interest-free loan. Okay? And of course, they meet and discuss, how to run businesses, how to do investments, and they keep the group going. But they require you to come with 500 kwacha, and it's working for them. The power of groups. There's another, perhaps much more formalized company that I'm studying. It's called Transcentuary, one of the most successful investment clubs on the continent of Africa. It was started by 29 individuals that met on a golf course. And they said, you know what, we hang out socially. Why don't we do something to enhance our economic power? Now, those were very big boys, They decided to go very aggressive. They said, if we're going to do something, let's do something big. So they challenged each other to put $10,000 each. So 29 of them, they raised just short of $300,000. They got a professional manager to invest that money on the stock market. 1 year after that, that money had more than doubled. They saw the potential. They decided, let's formalize this. They actually hired this professional guy to develop a business plan, to register an entity, to do everything that was necessary to start a successful business. Well, over 25 years later, TransCentury is a multi-billion-dollar company with a lot of interest in Africa in terms of telecommunications, energy, they're into venture capital as well, and many other things. The power of numbers and the power of pooling resources together. So, a few advantages of investment clubs and pooling resources together. This word that I've been using, pooling resources, means that you put money together and you can invest that money in several products, whether these are government securities, government securities, namely treasury bills and government bonds. You can also invest on the securities market, your LUSE if you're in Zambia. Okay? You can also start businesses from scratch or invest in existing businesses using the pooled resources. So pooling resources is very effective. It is actually what is called crowdfunding. Okay, crowdfunding. Although there are slight differences, but we'll discuss that in future. Crowdfunding. The other advantage of investment clubs is that you are able to mitigate or manage risks because one, you're able to diversify by putting your money in different asset classes, different investments. So when one class doesn't perform very well, another is likely to do quite well. Diversification also helps you because as a person, as an individual, perhaps you may only have money enough to go into one business or to invest in one asset class. But because you're pooling your resources, combining your resources, you can explore several things, reducing the risk for each one of the individual participants. The other advantages of investment clubs is that you're going to be learning together and learning from each other. If you're 10 or 15 of you in that investment club, obviously each person brings some level of expertise. There's an area that you're coveted with, so that is brought to bear on that club of yours. Everybody benefits. Everybody brings something. But investment clubs as well, something I mentioned earlier, they help you to get consistent and to follow through on your plans. Consistency is important. As individuals, we have started these savings and investment programs and we have stopped along the way because of so many issues that come up. But when you're working as a group, you hold each other accountable, and that's important. So you're able to follow through on the plans, but you're also able to be consistent, to do over and over the things that are important. So investment clubs are very, very critical for us to create wealth and even generational wealth. But the question is, how do you start? Well, one of the things that people have said is that you have to start to be great, but you don't have to be great to start. Okay? Don't wait until all the conditions are in place. Just get started, and then you can refine as you go. So, to start an investment club, very, very simple, really. Get together with your friends, whether these are your former classmates, your workmates, your churchmates, your family members, anybody that you can get down with, get together with. Sell the concept, get buy-in. Okay? Typically, an investment club from 5, 10, 15 people, that's a good number. It can be more, but that's a good number to start with. So discuss with those mates of yours and explore what's possible. So once you have some level of buy-in, organize another meeting where a detailed business idea is presented dissected and discussed. So people or somebody can be asked to investigate a particular business opportunity, whether it's in agriculture, for example, whatever area really. There are lots of business opportunities that exist currently, even here in Zambia. Let somebody, whether one who is part of the group or somebody that can be invited to present one or several business opportunities that the group can explore. So look at that and agree that you're going to go into that particular business venture for starters. Remember, you can always diversify later, but as starting out, it's better you focus on just one area and get started, and later you can look at other things. Okay, later after you've considered a good business opportunity, you can then meet again to consider detailed rules, and operational guidelines that you're going to operate by. So let everybody know from the word go how this club is going to run. So detailed rules. Once the detailed rules are agreed, go on and register. Whether it's a company, whether it's a cooperative, or whatever entity you decide to register. So registration ensures that you formalize your operations, you formalize your idea. That's very important. Okay? And once that's done, then talk about how you can bring in professional management into the entity. One of the simple things that go wrong with cooperatives, with investment clubs, with chilimbas, with all of these these group schemes is that people feel that they have to run it themselves, even if it's part-time, because they don't want to spend money on hiring a person. That doesn't usually work very well. You need somebody to work full-time in that entity to give it a fair chance of success. So that's how you can get started and work through to the place where you are able to start. Okay, now, how will you ensure that, or at least give your investment club a fair chance of success? What are the critical success factors? What are some of the things that you need to do? For example, some of the things that Transcentury did was that once they agreed that they were going to put this money together and explore business opportunities, the first thing they did was they realized that the members were very busy with other things, or others had retired and had no interest running anything. So they agreed to hire a professional manager whom they put on a salary and other conditions of service, obviously. So full-time management, somebody that they could actually hold accountable. So that's important as a critical success factor. Number two, critical success factor, you need to look at hiring professional business development services. Business development services, professional ones, whether this is legal, this is accounting, auditing, IT, marketing, everything that's important for business to succeed. Don't consider cost on that one. Look at the advantages of getting those services into your investment club. They will help you to succeed. Number three, as a critical success factor, regular meetings, preferably on a monthly basis. Everybody should agree to come together regularly to see how the club is going, to see what needs to be done, to go to the next level. So regular meetings. Number four, as a critical success factor, you want to make sure that there is participation from everybody and observance of corporate governance principles. So every member of the club must participate in one way or another. So you must share responsibilities. Even in a case where you have a full-time hired professional management, the members of the club must, for example, belong to the board of directors, and you have several committees that everybody can serve in. So every member must participate and make sure to observe corporate governance principles. And another critical success factor, perhaps the last one we can discuss here, is strategic business planning. Okay, there's a lot that's covered under that term, strategic business planning. You might be saying, look, let's ensure that we have a long term. Investing itself, business. Those are things that take time. I think we need to run away from the mentality, perhaps as Africans, that there is such a thing as a quick money scheme, a get-rich-quick scheme. Okay, people have been ripped off because they want to invest money today and reap tomorrow. Investing, business management takes time. So allow for time to pass, okay, before you can expect huge returns from your investments, from your business. So a critical success factor that's important for investment clubs is to have a long-term view. Because as an example, even when you're going to invest in shares on the stock market, shares take time for them to increase in value, and you get to reap your capital gains. As an example, business, it takes time. So plan from the word go that yours is going to be a long-term view. So thank you so much for paying attention. We will meet you in the next video, where we'll look at some of these issues about how to start and how to assure that your investment club gets off to a good start, and you give it a fair chance of succeeding. Or the best, start looking for your mates, start talking about investing. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.